officer who was found guilty of attempted murder in the death of teenager Sammy Yatim has lost his appeal. Constable James Forcillo was sentenced to 6 years behind bars in connection with the 2013 shooting of Yatim. The 18-year-old was holding a knife aboard an empty TTC streetcar when he was shot and killed. Now, Forcillo was acquitted on a much more serious charge of attempted murder. Ultimately, the jury found that the first volley of shots was justified. Those were the shots that killed him, but the second were not. Now, and they were deemed excessive. I spoke to Forcillo's lawyer today about what options Forcillo has next. What is your client's reaction to this today?
Well, he's obviously very disappointed. This is the end of a long process for him, and he was hopeful that the Court of Appeal would have allowed the appeal against conviction, or at the very least would have allowed his sentence appeal. So he's digesting all of this, and it's a difficult day for him.
What was the basis of the appeal?
Well, there were a number of arguments that were made at the Court of Appeal. One of the most significant issues on the conviction appeal had to do with this question of splitting the transaction into two discrete legal questions in terms of the first volley and the second volley, and the Court of Appeal dealt with that issue in their lengthy judgment.
What are his thoughts on what happened that night with Sammy Yatim? Does he have anything to say to the family today?
Well, you know, he testified at the trial. I'm not here to be sort of his mouthpiece, as it were, to talk to the family. He gave his explanation for the events. I'm sure that doesn't sit well with the family, but he didn't start that day, as he testified, wanting to bring about the death of anyone that day. And you know, this is a very difficult day for him, but no doubt the family has had many difficult days as a result of what happened to their son.
Is there any further action that can be taken, or is this it?
Well, in terms of appeals that he has as a matter of right, this is the end of the road. In some circumstances, the Supreme Court of Canada will grant leave to appeal to that court. We're in the process of looking at the decision carefully, and then he'll make a decision, James will, as to whether or not he wants to ask the Supreme Court of Canada if he can appeal his decision there.
Now, Forcillo was out on bail pending that appeal, but he was imprisoned late last year for allegedly violating his bail conditions, and he was charged with perjury and obstruct justice. He will be back in court.